Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Fern. I'm Danny and today we've got a load of little snaggy jobs to do on the Berlingo, so let's get started. First job today, we have got the wiper to do, the wiper motor, but I'm going to start off with this rear light. I'll show you what's happening with it and I'll show you what the problem is with it as well. As you can see, the rear lights are on, but this isn't working. Usually if you give it a bit of a tap, it comes back on, which can say that the element in the light's fractured, but it's still connecting, but that's not the case with this. So I'm going to whip this back light off now and show you what the problem is. So I don't know if you can see the bulb's slightly out. The bulb's not actually the problem. It'll come in a bit closer. Someone's forced a bulb in this when the bulb was changed last time. I'm not saying it's me. It might have been, but it's actually broke a bit of plastic off there. So when the bulb's put in, when you go over a bump, it does pop out slightly and break the contact. Which makes the light go off, and then when you give it a bang it makes the contact again. So that's what the problem is with that. So this whole back thing needs replacing. They're about 20 quid off eBay. I had 3 attempts, bought some twice, and then they cancelled straight away saying they haven't got them. But this is the new one, and that's the part number there, 634679. Whole new unit. I'll put a link in the description below if you need to buy one. But let's get that fit now and swap the bulbs over. These clips on the back can be a little bit fiddly. You get a screwdriver in, push the piece of metal down and pull it off. That's a new one with all the bulbs in. Just in reverse order now. Put that clip on. Make sure it's all clipped in tight. And then put the lens back on. Just as simple as lining them up on the back. You hear it all clip in, top and bottom, and then just align that lug on the end. Job done. I'd advise anyone when you're putting these back on, don't put them back on too tight, so you're going to need pliers. Just put them on finger tight, or just always keep some pliers in the car if you want to give them that extra bit of a twist. Job done. Let's give it a quick test and a bang and make sure it don't go out. Another job done. Next one now. Next job, the rear wiper blade. It's rock solid in place there. Just noticed a number plate bulb's gone as well a second ago. So yeah, I've tested this and it's definitely gone. So I'm going to swap this over now. I'm going to start on the outside and then work my way on the inside. First thing we need to do is just lift this cap up, and there's a 13mm nut. This thing that sticks out above it is actually the wash wipe. There is a pipe on the inside which I'll show you in a minute, but first thing to do is get this undone and then we can move on to the inside. That's all that's left now. We've got this rubber grommet which should stay in place. It's hard to focus on that. It does look quite corroded, that, which is going to happen. It's getting wet all the time. And That's the washer nozzle that I was just talking about then. Next step's remove this trim panel. It's only held on with clips. It's been off a load of times this, when my back trim kept falling off. But I usually just put my hand in near the bit that's nearest the front and I pull it down. I'll show you now. I've not actually lost that many clips. There's one broke there which I knew about, and this one's snapped, but oh, I've got one missing here as well. I'm sure I've got one in here somewhere. Yes, I have. That must be off the Saxo, but that'll do. See, I've not done too bad there. These are the aligning clips, and then under here we've now got access to the wiper motor. They're quite expensive, these from Citroen. I got one that was off eBay for about £40. I think it literally just pulls off these. I'm not sure actually how it comes off. I'm going to have a go with it now. We need to disconnect this washer pipe, disconnect this multi-plug, which was simple enough, and get this wiper motor off, and get the new one on and give it a test. So I've just had a look in the manual, and these, on the later models, which mine is, these are actually rivets. So I've got 3 rivets I have to drill out now. Not ideal. They're apparently nuts on the earlier models, but it shouldn't take too long to get them 3 out. I just hope I've got some rivets that are going to go in and replace it. I've drilled them rivets until they started spinning. I'm going to drill the rest of them out now, and yeah, see if I can get anything else in there. Right guys, we have got a rear wiper working, but I need to get some rivets. I don't have any that are that big. They look like they're a 10mm rivet. So yeah, I'm going to have to work that out. I've also lost one of them which pinged off, which I've put this bolt in here for the time being. But the wiper is working. It's not ideal, but I didn't know that they were going to be riveted on. But at least I've got a real working wiper now, and the spray works as well. I've ended up putting some M8 bolts through them rubber grommets, which looks like it's holding it in place. I just need to get my hands and knees and try and find this one. But the washer wiper does work now. It's all locked in place. It's pretty rock solid, but I'm going to have to get some of them 10mm rivets from Citroen and finish the job off properly another day. But at least we've got a working rear washer wiper. I've driven vans in the past. It's never bothered me not having a rear window, but it is annoying when you've got glass there and it's covered in muck and you can't use it. I've done a bit of research on these replacement rivets, and you can still get them from Peugeot. These little blanks that I thought you put back in as a space or anything is actually part of the rivet, which I'll show you now. So these are the actual rivets now. I managed to find that bit was rattling around in the back of the tailgate. So these are the rivets. They're called a blind rivet. As with everything, as I keep saying, I'll put the link in the description below. So if you do a rear wiper motor on one of these later Berlingo Multispaces, I think it's 2006 onwards, you're going to need to get some of these replacement rivets, and also a decent rivet gun, which is going to probably add about £20 onto the cost of the wiper motor and your time doing it. But let's get these put in now, and then we can finish this job as well. There we go, all 3 rivets are in, rock solid like original. I'm just going to give the rear wiper a bit of an adjust again, make sure it's in the right place. Get this back trim back on. The rear axle has arrived for the car as well, which is going to be getting done in the next couple of days, so watch out for that video. Next job was replace this aerial. It popped off when I put a load of plasterboard on top once, it just pinged off. So I've got a replacement part again. I've only got the base for it. I've got the aerial off this axle, which should fit. I'm going to get inside the car now and start taking the interior light section out, so I can get to the bolt for this and swap it over. I'm going to give this a clean off as well. That's the roof all cleaned off. That's the replacement part. And that's the part number if you need one, 656110. I'll put a link in the description below where you can get them from. Let's get inside. We're going to have to remove this to get access to it. As you can see where it's all gone a bit funny inside here, where it's been leaking water. It only leaks when you go through car wash. I'll put a video on now of it leaking in when I go through it. But I'm going to start by taking that out. I think we're going to have to take that out as well, and maybe that, and then it will reveal the screws so I can get to the aerial point. So there's 2 torque screws under there. I've no doubt the torque's 25, so I'm going to take them out next, and hopefully this pops down and I can get access to the aerial point. It looks like I'm going to have to take this whole panel off, which is an absolute gutter, but there's only 2 on that side and 2 on this side where the sun visors are, so I'll take them out now. I've undone the sun visor bolts and then it's slotted back, which I'm going to go over here, up there, and do the same, and then that should give me access to that a little bit better. I don't want to snap this, it's a good handy shelf. Now that's off, you can see that up there, it looks like it might be a little 6mm. I'm going to undo that now, pop the old one out and refit the one on top. Right guys, I've undone that little nut. It was an 8mm. I had to pull this little bit back to get to it. That's a new one put in and sealed. Just slots in. That bolt's going to tighten up on it in a minute anyway, but I've just got to remember to put the aerial loop adapter on and then tighten it back up. It's all on, done, tested. I won't play any music because I know YouTube will copyright strike me. So that leads us on to the next job. So the next job's this display. You can see it slightly lighting up, which is no good. I'm going to take this panel off now and remove that clock, because I do really miss it. You can't see it at all during the day. It's only because the light's shining and it's super bright. There's 3 or 4 bulbs in the back of it. I'm going to take them out and hopefully replace them today and get that working again, so it all lights up like the dashboard does. Now that that panel's off, I'm just going to show you what it quickly looks like without the light shining on it. So you can see when you're out in the daylight, you can't see anything. It doesn't light up. It just needs them bulbs replacing. So we've got 2 bolts. We've got one here and one here. They're Torx 20s. So I'm going to whip that out and then get to the bulbs at the back. I've pulled the clock out so you can see. But on the back, you've got 3, I think they're called T5s. I've got some off eBay. I don't think they're the right colour, but they'll do for the time being. You really want to be trying to get hold of the old Lucas ones. But I'll whip one of these out now and show you what we're dealing with, and the other bulbs that I've got. These are the bulbs. They're tiny, little T5s. They're a capless bulb, and they just come out of the holder pretty easy with a pair of long nose pliers. But the problem is the cheapo China ones that I've bought just fall apart. They've not even got a cap on the end. I'm still going to try one anyway and see if it fits, or should I say see if it lights up. So these rubbish China bulbs don't work. I'm going to try and find some Lucas ones. I'm going to get them in white and orange, so I can't replace the bulbs in that clock today, which is an absolute shame. Having a bit of a nightmare today, but this is what happens when you work on your own cars. Right guys, it's another day. I'm going to show you what I mean about this clock. I turn the ignition on and you can just hardly see what's going on. Now I've got the radio working again. I can't see what radio station it's on and stuff. I've managed to get hold of some Lucas T5 bulbs, which will definitely do the trick, because you can always trust Lucas. Everything I've used in this video so far I'll put in the description below, so you can get the links to them on eBay. I think they're about £3 for 5. So I'm going to start now by swapping one of the bulbs over and seeing if it works. They just simply pull out these things and then just push it in, and then that's a miles better fit. It's exactly the same fit as the original one I've just taken out. So I'm going to pop it in now, put the ignition on and see if it's worked. We're in business there. I don't know if you can see, but it's lit up on that left hand side. I've got 2 more bulbs to do quickly, and then it should have been fixed, and I can set the date and set the time, and I'm happy again. Well, that's the clock back working after about a year. You don't know how happy that actually makes me, to be able to see the time and the date, and then when I turn the radio on I can see what station I'm listening to. Long overdue job that. A minute ago I told you I had a light bulb out, a number plate light bulb. They're a 501 capless bulb, and I'm going to go and change that now. As you can see, one's working, one's not. This cover just pulls off. Again, Lucas bulbs. I'll put the link in the description below. Just looked, oh, gutted. Let me get the pliers, one sec. Well, that was a bit fiddly than usual, but I'm going to get a new cap for that. I've also pulled this trim back off again so I can reseal it on, because it was getting a bit loose again. Just put the camera back a little bit so you can see that. Right guys, that's the video done. Rear wiper, rear light cluster. What else have we done? We've done the interior clock display lights, and we've also done the aerial. 4 more jobs ticked off the list. Like I just said, we've got the rear axle to do. We've also got an ABS light on. We've got a knocking noise on the front, which is the drop links. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Any comments, put them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.